time, right? It's something very important to me. I sort of started dwelling in so many other things which I could do away from the studio. So one was my black and white drawings, which I could experiment with, and I just went totally crazy. I went haywire over it. And then what happened was, my daughter gave me an idea. I said, why don't you hold classes? Because there's so many people just sitting at home wanting to do stuff, but they don't know what to do. And that's how it started. I started these Insta live classes, and the following just grew. And then I said, okay, fine. Then why only one class? Let me do a pocket of series of, 6-turn courses, 7-turn courses. And I started doing that, and everyone latched on because, like you said, it is a phenomenal way of distressing. It is the physical attribute is to put your pen on paper and draw. But you don't realize that when you're drawing, the amount of your mind usage that goes into the paper through the pen, literally, there is a connection. The more intriguing your drawing, the more absorbed in it you get, you literally forget about the other stuff around you, So that's what it does to me. I sit and do my pen and inks for hours. And I'll show you some of them, of course, midway when we take a break, just to give you an idea of how detailed they are. And the more detailed you do them, the more involved you get on the paper, the more you want from it. You understand? So if I show you the complete works right now, you'll get very shocked and you'll get very scared. So I don't want to do that. To me, it's like showing someone a completed jigsaw, which I also do. I do large jigsaw puzzles. If I show someone a completed jigsaw puzzle, which I've kept in my studio, which is 8,000 pieces, and the other one which I'm doing, which is 18,000 pieces, they get shocked. You say, how the hell did you do that? But you remember one thing, it started from the first piece. So it's always one piece at a time. So it's like one line at a time. You see a complete work of an artist or an architect or a painter, and you get overwhelmed and you say, how the hell did you do that? And how the hell can I do this? But it starts with that first line. So that's what we'll be doing today. And this myth about I cannot do art because I cannot draw a straight line, forget that. You don't need to draw a straight line. You don't need to know anything about art. You could actually not have drawn a line or a circle in your life. But I promise you'll be enjoying yourself today. That's my guarantee. And I find that it's sort of slowly when you go on. So what I do is, I'll start with a warm-up. I'll start with a warm-up where you take your pen and go around the way I teach you, and I'll show you. And then slowly we'll develop into some techniques. And then we'll take those techniques and do an artwork from it. Okay, so that's the way we'll go about it. So I'll keep on explaining as I'm going along. I'm going to now take the camera to my paper. I would like you all to get your pen and papers ready, and we can start. Is that okay? Shall we do that?
Yes, Arjun. Absolutely.
Sure. Okay, so I'll just change the view of my camera. So just in case that's Bombay for you from the sky outside.
Has it been raining, Arjun?
Sorry?
Has it been raining?
Oh, it's not today. No, not today. It's just gathering. The evening skies are beautiful. The evening skies sort of turn a red hue and a gray hue and all that. And I keep on photographing them from up here, So I'll change my view to the paper view. And if you've got questions while I'm doing it also, not a problem. Let me know and we'll sort of halt it and we'll start and we'll make you. I mean, very frankly, it's very simple. I've done this so many times now. Previously, I used to get a little nervous, but now I think you can wake me up at 5 o'clock and I'll start a workshop at 5:15. Not a problem. Okay, so shall we go ahead? Let's start.
When we start, do we plan a doodle?
Okay, very good. Excellent question. Excellent question. So I'll tell you what. I'll go a little step behind, and this is a question people ask me when I'm sculpting, when I'm doing my metal work. There are two ways I do it. Number one, when I'm doing for a show. So I'll change the camera back again so that I can explain that to you better. So when I'm doing sculptures for a show, they are unplanned, completely unplanned, and I just work directly with the metal, because when you're putting it up for a show, you don't know who your end user is. You don't know the subjects that come out, you just go, okay. When I'm doing the commission works, which is what I mostly do, I have to give a sketch to the client just to show him what I'm going to do and how it's going to come about. So there it is planned. Now, what I enjoy in doodles is, I'm very glad you asked that question. I sit with a complete blank mind and a blank paper. And I start with the pen directly on the paper, completely unplanned. Till the paper hits the pen, there is no planning at all as to which way the pen will move, whether it will be a line, a squiggle, a curve, a dot, nothing. And that's what I like about it. And I would urge you to do the same, not in today's class. Today's class, follow what I'm, but generally when you're sitting with the paper, completely go unplanned. I literally tell people that when you're doodling with me in the studio, you keep on, in the workshops, you keep on hearing my voice, which actually is very disturbing. I shouldn't be talking. Do doodles when no one's talking, put some nice music, completely switch off, and then see what emerges from it. It's wonderful. I was just going through the slides which you all were showing before I came on. You all were showing these slides, correct? Sometime back before the session started. And there was something there, it's no need to be perfect, just go for it. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what doodling is about. Do not worry ever when you're creating art as to what will this fellow think when he sees it. Never worry about that. Even in fact, children, I take a lot of children's workshops. I shoo the parents away. The parents should be out of the sight. None of them should be able to see the parents also, because then they create freely from the mind. The moment they know a parent is behind, they keep on looking back to see if the parent is looking at their drawing. And that shouldn't happen, you know. So completely freely. Today, if anyone objects to your drawing, tell them I'm responsible for it. Don't worry, just go ahead.
We should totally enjoy with you. We should totally enjoy with you.
Oh yes, of course, completely. Let's start now. Enough I've spoken.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start by a little warm up. Like in every exercise, you do a warm up. We'll do some warm ups there. So when you see my doodles, which I show you the complete ones later on, you'll realize it is done with multiple techniques all mixed together. But today, for simplicity's sake, I have just removed one technique from that. I'm going to show you that just to give you an idea of how much you can do only with one technique. Literally only with one technique, you can fill up hundreds of pages of your scrapbooks, literally sketchbooks, literally with only that one technique. So let's start. First, what I want you to do is, of course, just start left to right. Just take some wavy lines. Okay, just take some wavy lines. Just take some wavy lines and lyrical, not jerky, not jerky like this. Very nice and lyrical. The idea is to sort of get so involved in the waves that actually your body rhythm sort of goes into these very nice, soft lyrical waves. Okay. Okay. Just couple of lines, 2, 3 of them. You can overtangle them. You know, so what I tell children is, what is if I explain to them what is a dot and a line. So I explained to them, I said, look, I said, this is a dot. A line is when you take that dot for a walk. So literally take the dot for a walk. Like you take a dog for a walk, take this dot for a walk and just go. Just go. Literally mindlessly flow. Like your pen is flowing without any effort at all.
And Arzan, it's very interesting. And when you said warm up, you know,
yeah,
it
is a warm up.
You know, doing a warm up when we are doing art, you know, that's really
yeah, it's just to sort of get your mind to a sort of neutrality. It is also to get your hand into some sort of a rhythm, you know.
Okay.
But even your warm up, like I tell my students, should look like a work of art. You know, even your warm up, you should not waste your warm up that you do. You should actually incorporate in your, so just to give you an idea. I mean, this is what I've done. Okay. Now, let's go to today's section that we have, which is, we're doing spirals today, by the way. Okay. Spirals. So what I'll do is I'll lower this a little. 1 second. Yeah, better.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, first exercise, start with a dot, go out. Just be very careful as an exercise. Normally, I don't say that, but this is just for a training, not to hit the inner line. Go as close as possible and see if you can start from literally a millimeter circle going up to, see, I touched it myself. See that? My hand wavered. Try going this way. Try seeing how accurate you can go without touching the inner circle. Let's say to about approximately 2 inches diameter. You don't have to measure, it's just approximate. And imagine doing this with soft music at the background. It's beautiful. It actually works a lot. So I keep on telling my students, one of my favorite musics to listen to when I'm doing these doodlings is, it's an album called Oxygene, Oxygene. It's by a French
synthesizer player back in the 80s. Beautiful music. See that?
Yeah.
Once you've done that, try going on the other side and try doing a reverse spiral whereby you're going in outside in. And you tell me which is easier, outside in or inside out.
Okay.
See that?
Yeah.
Completely changes the way you look at it. When you're going inside out, I have noticed that the lines are more uncertain because there is no ending inside. You could keep going on and on till you reach the edges of the page. In an outside in, you know where it's going to stop till you don't have any place. So it becomes easier. See that? Even if you've not completed this, it's perfectly okay. These are just still your practice sessions. We are not even come to the main artwork. Now, try doing a spiral. This is very important. Try doing a spiral where you start with one spiral like this, but then same diameter of the spiral. You don't alter the diameter, but you start pulling it down. Like a telephone cord. You know an old telephone cord? So go like that. Pull it down. Do a couple of these with different diameters. Sorry, I'm obstructing the first one. Yeah, I'll keep it this way. Do a couple of these with different diameters. Okay. Keep going. I'll keep on adding the small little changes to the whole thing. Now do one. This is very important also, where you start with a large diameter, but as you go down, reduce the diameter. Narrow it down. Narrow it down slowly. You'll find that as you keep doing, your strokes get more confident. Initially, the wavering lines will disappear. They'll start getting more confident. Try one or two more of this, where you start with one diameter and you go to a smaller one. Remember that as you're doing this, you're also composing an artwork. You're just not doing only scribbles right now. It's where you do it, how you place it, that matters also. Try one, going from small to big. Start with the small and go big. If you've got these concepts, then you're ready for the work. Okay. It's very simple. It's nothing. It's just, if you're not getting absolute perfect spirals, little off, if your circles are looking like ovals, it's perfectly okay at this stage. You see that? What you can do is do one where your choice, start with a small diameter or a big diameter, but whichever way you go, change the direction. Change the direction. See, I'm changing same spiral. I'm increasing and I'm changing the spiral, changing the direction at the same time. Let's go up here. Okay. When you're changing the direction, one side will get compressed and the other side will open out like that. See that? So it goes compressing. Do you realize that you are getting semi 3D forms in this? Yeah. You looks actually like 3D forms when you're doing this. And the next part of this exercise is a lot of fun. It involves this, but I'll tell you what, only one thing gets altered in that, which is very, very exciting. I'll show you. I'm glad you all are all intrigued and doing this. So when you don't, of course, you're all muted, but even when you're not muted, when I take these classes, when all the bachas are sitting nicely and doing this, I know how interested they are in it and how absorbed they get, you know. So it's good. The parents love it when the children are quiet. Everyone's parents loves it. And the children love it when the parents are quiet. So that's why it works for both age groups.
I think the children are loving right now. The parents are quiet and.
Oh, I'm glad. Okay, so let's start. If you've got this, I'm sure everyone's comfortable with it. Let's move on to the next step. Now, next step is what? It is exactly what we did, but in a little more fun way. Now what we are going to do, take a brand new paper. Let's start from the center of the paper with only one difference. Now, no warm up. Now this is like, imagine you're going to create an abstract work of art. After this, we'll do something figurative. I'll show you how, but using exactly this, using the spirals. Now, there's only one difference in this. I'm going to take a rough paper and show you first, but you don't do it rough. It's okay. Directly go on the fresh one. The only difference you're going to do is, see, we did 3 types. We did the small to big. We did the big to small. Okay. Sorry. We did the inside out. We did the outside in. We did the big to small. We did the small to big, and we altered the direction. Let's do these one of a kind. Now don't do, just see what I'm doing. You're going to increase the speed of your spirals, which makes it a lot more fun. Do also practice when you're doing it on your own, the slow spirals. It's wonderful and very calming to go this way, this way, this way. But for today's exercise, let's have some fun. Let's increase the speed. So same thing that I did on the other side, but this is the speed you'll go at. Start from 0.
Wow.
Okay, this is what you're going to do. Okay, don't worry of it crossing over and all that. Perfectly all right. See that?
Yeah.
This is what you're going to do. Inside out and outside in. How close you take the spiral to each other will determine how dark and light it is. Just to give you an idea, I'm going to do similar shapes, 2 similar sizes. Similar sizes, out to in. One is this, and one is, do you see the difference in the texture and the shade? That is because there I've gone sparse, here I've gone very, very condensed. It's very important to get these gradations of light and dark, just so that in your main artwork, it makes a difference. When, okay, so also your ascending to descending. Large, but I want the speed. The speed is what makes it fun. Go small. See that?
Yeah.
Okay. What does this remind you of? I'm going small to big. You tell me what this reminds you of.
But you know,
I'm going small.
too hypnotic.
Yes, it is. It is.
It reminds us of a tornado. At least.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I was coming to. From small to big, you can literally make it like a tornado. See that? No? So let's start. Enough of this. Okay, new paper, brand new paper. Now, we're going to do an abstract form. I'm going to do something. I'm going to do one more variation of the same thing. And now you compose, don't follow exactly what I'm doing, but just let's say approximately about 5 inches dia. Let's compose a complete abstract pattern using these techniques. I will go back slightly and show you one more. I'm sorry, I should have shown you this. This ascending to descending that I did. I will show you one where you can go large, and in the same one, go small again. And in the same one, go large, go small, change the direction. How I'm altering it? As I'm going along, I'm planning. And it gives you a somewhat 3D sort of a view. So alter that. So let's start. Now, I'm going to do this much. You're also going to just do 4 inches diameter. And just compose your own design within this. And then we'll quickly take a look at what's happening with everyone. Okay. So I'm starting. Do your own spirals. If you want, you can follow what I'm doing. Otherwise, just go. But I'm going to do all the techniques that we've done so that you get a fair idea. But now, when you put the next spiral, compose it as a part of the whole abstract design that you're doing. Don't think too much. Don't think too much. This is not a drawing where you have to think so much at all. Completely go with your gut. Put your pen down and then go. and make sure it's an abstract pattern. Right now, we are not doing a figurative work, so it doesn't have to look like anything. And when I say figurative, I don't mean a human figure. I mean anything that is recognizable. Do not do anything that is recognizable. Completely go according to what your gut says. According to what your pen, the way your pen moves, literally. Experiment with it. Do a few tightly bound spirals, few do loosely bound spirals like I showed you. So you get an idea of how you can experiment with this. And like I said, everyone goes at their own pace. Right now, you can't see what each one is doing, but normally when all the students sit together, sometimes they keep on peeking over and seeing the next one and seeing how far that one has progressed. So then they speed up. Don't do that. Take it at your own pace. And if anyone is very confused, please let me know. I'll help you out.
Sure.
We'll just do this for another 5-10 minutes just to get the hang of a composition. You see what I'm doing? I'm composing as I'm going along.
Yeah, very rhythmic, Arzan, very rhythmic.
Sorry. it comes with practice also, but it comes also with a lot of how you say, absolutely no fear of wondering what will turn out. That is a big attribute to have, to experiment completely fearlessly, which I've been doing with my sculpture since ages now. So when you experiment completely fearlessly, you get some wonderful results, you know?
Yeah. Wow.
This reminds us of that those pyrographs we used to do in our.
Yes, the spiral, the ones which we used to put the pencil in the gears and then do it, correct? Yeah. But there you were bound by the gears. Here you're completely free, no?
Yeah.
But that was even wonderful.
Yeah, totally.
I
But
wonder if they're still available, because
they
I remember they used to sell it at the traffic signals once upon a time, ages back. So after we do this one little abstract work, I'm going to show you my pen and ink doodles, and then we'll go on to one figurative work, which will be a lot of fun. In the figurative work today, don't pay too much attention to the proportions, etc. Go more for the fun technique of getting this 3D element. You see how I'm wrapping my spirals around one design? Try that also. I'm taking layers of spirals like this. See that? I've just started one and I'm wrapping it around the other.
Arzan, Ganpati is definitely around the corner.
Where?
Ganpati is definitely
Oh, yes.
around the corner.
Yes. Oh, we can do a Ganesha. You want to try the Ganesha in a figurative form?
No, whatever you have planned, we can go with that.
No, I've not planned. I don't plan at all. I completely unplanned.
The one you're
Completely unplanned.
making is almost looking like a Ganpati. I don't know whether you planned it or not.
No, I'm not.
Like a Ganpati.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No. But it happens. It happens a lot. What I'll do is, after the class is over, I'll post you a video of a painting that I did over a photograph of a cloud that I took in the sky that day. Okay. So when I see a form, it just sort of completely looked like something. It didn't look like the Ganesha, but it looked like something to me, and I drew on it. Let me send you that video soon, so you get an idea of what I'm talking about. It's a lot of fun. Children also will enjoy this technique because it's like so quick and fast. And you can, one thing I want to show you to take your attention away, if you can take a break from this, is when you do something like this, very important. Whenever you're doodling, whenever you create something, some form, okay, what you need to do is sometimes do not leave the background blank, but do a background. Now, when you do a background, it is very essential to do these two things. Number one, supposing I'm going to take my tripod up so you can see the full paper. Very important to do this. Okay. Now, Supposing this is a form that I am talking about, and let's say I'm imagining that this form is standing on the ground. I'm going to take very simple lines. This is my horizon. This is my ground line, and this is my sky. Okay, this is my ground line. What I need to do is some sort of way establish a background so that what you've done, the composition that you've done gets a little depth. Now, there are multiple ways of doing this. Like I said, when you see my works, the amount of techniques that I use in a paper, it just flows one to the other to the other. And so here, since I'm doing spirals, I'm going to show you how to sort of determine a ground only using spirals, but they should be definitely lighter than your main subject. Do not do it as dark as your main subject, because then the whole depth goes away. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to start doing these spirals, but purposely little sparse, very sparse, so that I can fill up this texture as my ground. And when I do that, you'll realize that because I've taken it sparse, the appearance of the background becomes lighter, even if I'm merging it with this. See that? I'm merging it with this, but you can know what the background is and what your main subject is. So that is very important to denote that whatever you do in the background goes lighter every time, every time. Sometimes if you want, look at your old comic books, whatever the heroes are in the foreground, they will have darker outlines than the background, if you notice. The main subject always has darker backgrounds. See that? And if you're into photography, you'll know that if you take a portrait photograph, everything in the background has to go slightly out of focus. That's how a good portrait is determined. Similarly here. Now, out here, what I can do is, of course, I've got this ground sort of, I can go over also sometimes. Okay, always don't be don't fear. If you have a spiral which you've done, which you don't like, you can always go over it with another one. Okay, always go over it with another one if you want to sort of determine some more depth out of it. The sky, I'm going to just do with lines. Just haphazard lines that I taught you in the beginning. See how it fills up. And you need not take the lines right till the end. Just it's called a foil in art, just to give it a foil to your main subject so it stands out a bit. And it doesn't look like it's only.
So, Arzan,
yeah.
So we can mix lines and circles and curves, you said.
Oh, you can mix everything. It's just that if I show you everything today, you'll get so confused, you'll drop it the next day, you know. So what I'm doing is, I'm only going to show you two techniques. One is, of course, the lines, which I'm using as a background today, but there are no rules to it. You can mix whatever you want with it. I've started doing this just to give you an idea. You see that? See how it looks? Okay. It stands out, correct? It looks as if it's standing on the ground and then there's a sky. If you leave the paper blank, then sometimes it looks incomplete. That's why. Okay. So now what I'll do is
volume, you know, you've added.
Sorry.
Volume.
Yes, I've added volume to it. Correct. You're right. I've added volume to it. I've given it some sort of context. It's like, I'll explain to you. It's like me drawing, let's say I've drawn a human form. Let's say I've drawn a human form. Okay, like this. There is absolutely no context to it of the size or whatever. It doesn't have any bearing at all. Now what I do is, I give it a line here. I give it a line. I draw some sort of elements here which look like trees, which gives you an idea of the kind of open field he's standing on. You see that?
Yes.
It gives you an idea of the open field he's standing. And closer to him, of course, even a small bush looks bigger than the trees at the background. So what I've done is, I've given it a little foil, correct? A little foil, a little background. And then, of course, if you want, what we used to do, like, don't do it, what we just, you know, just very thrifty. It gives you a depth. Suddenly now, that one man who is standing alone has got a lot of depth. You can actually make out that he's standing on an open field with the clouds in the background. Understand? That's what it does. So where I am, the sun is coming in like crazy. That's why I'm getting the shadow. So I'm moving slightly here and there. Okay. So let's go to our main subject.
You saw that? You saw what I did. See, completely haphazard, but I made a composition whichever way. Okay, so that's what you have to do. Now, let me give you a little break, and I'll show you the kind of works I do in black and white, just to give you an idea. Okay. Now, I'm going to raise this a little. I started doing these doodles way back. And sometimes, like I said, each one takes me about 10 days, 15 days to do. And I'll just give you an idea of the kind of stuff you can do. See that? It's just dashes. And when you're doing stuff, when you're doing things like this, you don't even plan as to what you're going to do. I'm going to just turn the pages and show you the kind of images that I've done. You see that?
Oh, wow.
Lines and squares and squiggles, everything put together. Look at this. Only dots.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm going to hold it like this. Only dots. See that? It's completely only dots, but you can make out the kind of shading yourself. Only dots.
So no
I'm going
rules.
to
We need to
Sorry?
bend. No rules. Only bend.
No
the-
rules. Absolutely no rules. Do not stick to any. Look at this. Completely mindlessly, literally mindlessly. But believe me, the act is not mindless. When you sit down to do it, yeah, there's another technique that I teach my students. It's a slightly detailed one, but you see that?
Yes.
So it's like you sit there. I keep on using the word mindlessly because I'm calling it unplanned. It should be completely unplanned. You see that? So you start with these squiggles, and then you are going to these dots. But you have to remember one thing. Whatever you do, you keep composing as you go. Understand? You keep composing as you go. I'll show you another one. Yeah, this is one of my favorite exercises. I call it the noodles and the ropes, where I keep on twining them like this. See that?
Yeah.
Now, let me show you some big serious works which I've done. And these are actually these were actually getting ready for a show this year, but I don't think it will happen because of course, what everyone is going through. But I'll just give you an idea of what the complete works look like and how detailed they are and the kind of mix that I've got. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry. I'm going to remove the camera from the tripod. See that? These are my complete works. I'm going to take you closer.
This looks so meditative.
Oh, yes, it is. But each one of this has taken me about 10 days to do. I'll show you some more. These are my, here. See that? Multiple techniques, all sort of whizzed into one.
Arzan, is there a website where we can see all of these?
Yeah. Usually I have a website which is not tremendously updated called arzankambata.com. But if you want my latest works on Instagram, I go by Arzan Studio. So Arzan Studio is where I post my sculptures and my artworks. And I do a lot of photography as well, which I post on Arzan Kambata. So Instagram has two, Arzan Studio and Arzan Kambata. You can keep on looking at that. I do a lot of stuff there. Here, see this. Only dots.
So Arzan, we are having different thickness also. So you use different thickness.
Yes, I was coming to that. Yes, if you're doing it seriously, you should get pens with different thicknesses, which give you a better sort of a work. 1 minute. I'll show you one specific one. Here, spirals. Look at that. See that?
Yes.
Only spirals. The whole thing has been made only of spirals.
And those
Squiggles, they are scribbles like this. I'll show you how to do that as a background. So these are only scribbles which I've done. So this is one of my favorite ones. It's as if it's a little man looking up to a constellation. See that? And if you see how the man is done, you realize how the man is done. It's only left undone. The man is actually left undone. Everything around it has been worked, but that has been left undone. See that?
yeah.
I'll show you one more of my favorite ones. Where is it gone? I'll tell you why it's my favorite also, because of the detailing. See this. You see that?
Yeah. This looks
Yeah.
like Corona.
Yes, a lot of my pieces look like the virus. I'm so sorry. But they were done ages back, believe me.
Arzan,
So-
what member is asking you,
Yes.
the doodle you showed with the man, was it a planned one? Because you left that space out there.
Only the man was planned. Only the man. So the man came in after I started the spirals. So I started the spirals blankly on the page. Absolutely blankly, not knowing what I'm going to do. Then after doing 3 or 4 of them, it looked like as if there's something
It's like this huge thing I'm seeing in the sky. And so I made the man very small like this and put him over there. You understand? So part of it also happens unplanned, but then when you go along, you study a pattern that's coming out and you say, okay, fine, let me do this to that so that it adds to the whole context. See that? And I'll show you one which I have done in the lockdown. Again, everyone is blaming me, saying it looks like the virus. I promise you that was not on my mind, but I'll show it to you anyway. See this one. It's made out of hundreds of small squares. See that? You can see it?
Wow.
Hundreds of small squares. And if you see, it's got a slight 3D view to it, where if you go in the square opening, you'll find the circles. These are all circles which I've done. See that? So it's a lot of work. It's absolutely a lot of work, but it engages you. Believe me, you sort of become one with the paper and you get absorbed by it. So I have this theory which I have to tell you. Like a lot of people said, do you meditate, you know? And for everyone, the common, I'll just change the camera to me while I'm talking so I can take you all again over there. So yeah, sorry. So everyone talks about meditation, and meditation generally people think is sitting down in a quiet place, and what they tell you to do is empty your mind. You have to be of some phenomenal resolve to sort of understand that emptying your mind is not something you can do easily. The moment you say empty your mind, all your thoughts will come back to you pouring in like a waterfall. So what you have to do is you have to actually get involved with an activity which is so engrossing that you forget the bad, literally. So that to me is meditation. To me, cycling is meditation. To me, sometimes running is meditation. To me, sitting, and of course at the workshop, when I'm sitting at the workshop and physically working with metal, that is of course the most meditative for me. So this is absolute meditation to me. Let's go into the main subject now, what I want to show you. So you got an idea. Now this is one way of creating abstracts using this pattern. Now let's go on to something figurative using the same technique. We actually will use the same technique, and let's do something figurative.
Arzan, there was a question.
Yeah.
A couple of members about, is there a brand of you use or you would suggest for the doodling?
Is there a brand? Sorry. So what?
What kind of pens would you suggest?
Oh yes, yes. Coming to the pens. Let me do that first. Okay. So when I started doodling, if anyone is known about architecture, you used to get these rotating pens which were fillable ink, which started from 0.005 thickness to 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, going right up to 1.2 millimeters. But now we get these micron pens. They're called Micron. Okay. These are phenomenal, and you get them in 0.05, 0.5, 0.8, all the thicknesses that you require to get a good doodling going. So I'll just open a few and show you, just to give you an idea. This, I'm going to take the camera close so you can see the thickness of the line that I'm talking about. First, I'm going to use the thinnest one, that is 0.005. This is 0.005. Okay. And it's 0.005 millimeters. Okay, it's all in millimeters. This one that I'm using is 0.8. That is 0.8 millimeters. Do you see that? You see the difference?
Yes.
This is what makes a difference in your final drawings also. So when your stationery shops are open, you should, if you're serious about this, you should get a couple of these pens. Very inexpensive and very long lasting. This is a 0.5, which will be in between this. You see how clearly and beautifully the thicknesses of the nibs are, that you can get these gradation of lines.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
It's wonderful. And when you use them in a combination, slowly, of course, with experience, you'll know what to use. In the background, go for thinner pens. In the foreground, go for thicker pens. You know, you'll make out. Shall I do something to give you an idea of the thickness? Okay, let me do a small little doodle, which is totally not what you're doing today, but just to give you an idea of how the difference in the pen makes a difference. Okay, the thickness in the pen. Now I'm going to do something with a 0.8. Have a look. This is not a technique which you're doing today, but this is just to give you an idea. It's one of my favorite techniques. I'm going to do like a lace or a rope. In this technique, it's very important that your lines are equidistant.
We
See what
shouldn't
I'm doing?
touch the lines, no? We shouldn't touch them. The
Oh,
lines.
you can, yeah, you shouldn't touch the lines. This is something which is slightly more difficult than the one I'm showing you today. See what I'm doing? I'm weaving in and out.
Right.
Okay. Now I'm going to stop this over here. Now, why stop it? Let me intertwine it with the one I've left incomplete. Here, I'm going to join it to this. Now, this is in 0.8. Just to give you an idea of the kind of gradation, I'm going to do the other one in 0.5. Interlink with this. This is just to give you an idea of the thickness of the pen, okay? I'm going to narrow the diameter also of this. So automatically it looks as if it's smaller. And in the background, you see that?
Yeah.
So this becomes smaller. I just love doing these doodles. This I can sit and do for hours. I call them my noodles. Okay. You can bifurcate them like this. Okay. And then I will use a 0.005 to give you a further idea. Now this, I'm going to go even thinner.
Oh, yeah.
See that? So this makes a difference. Your thickness of the pen. See, I'm taking it out just for you to get an idea. I'm going to weave it in here. I'm going to spread it out here. I'm going to bifurcate it like this. See how much difference it makes when you're using
Yeah.
multiple pens like this. See that?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, I keep getting excited and show you all other stuff than what I've planned to do, but it's okay.
It's truly fascinating.
Now,
Please do that.
chalo. So let's go into this. Now, I'm going to do a figure. I love human figures. If you see my sculptures, they've got a lot of human figures inside, within them. And what I'm going to do is using the same technique. Let's come back to this, what the plan of the day, as I call it. Let's come back to this. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is, now usually I don't do outlines, but for you all, if would you like to just follow what I'm doing today, and then the next one you can experiment? Would that be easier?
Yeah,
For
I
you?
think that.
Okay, okay. Let's do that. Let's do that. So then let's just draw an outline. Now, when you draw an outline, a pencil outline, it has to be very light. I might have to do it a little dark here just so that you can see it. But this is what I'm going to do. Yeah, like I said, usually I don't do lines, pencil lines, but I'm going to do an oval head, like a badam shape for a head. You see that?
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to do a very simple drawing. I'm going to come down into another small oval as the neck. I'm shoulder and chest region. Don't worry about proportions today. Absolutely okay if it goes haywire. Not a problem at all. It's okay. Now, go on to the stomach area. See that? I'm drawing it like a small kid would in bubble form. So if you know my sculptures, all my sculptures are generally jumping off the pedestals. I hate people sitting down. In fact, I'm conducting this standing up. I love standing and working. My computer also is at a 5-foot height where I stand and work. I don't sit down at all, preferably. So my sculptures are also like that. So similarly, I'm going to do this sketch. I'm going to do it very alive. I'm going to go in the thigh. I'm going to go in the thigh. Small sphere for the knee. Slightly larger behind for the calf. And the shin bone and the bottom leg. Go slow, it's okay. But don't worry about proportion. If at all, make the leg longer but not shorter. Okay, just to give you an idea. Always a shorter leg makes the figure stunted. A longer leg than usual makes it much more glamorous. Always. That's why you find sometimes in fashion models, and when they sketch, they do the legs longer than the torso.
True.
I'm going to repeat this, except I'm folding his leg like this time. I'm going to take now the upper. I'm going to divide in two, namely the bicep and the tricep, just like this. I'm going to take the forearm. Please feel comfortable to change the angle of the arms and all that, because this is just something I'm doing. And the next bicep, tricep, and forearm, I'm doing like this. It's like a dancer. Ankle, foot, toe. Ankle, foot, toe. Like this. Okay. This is good enough. If you have even something slightly lesser than this, just for size and proportion, this is absolutely perfect. Huh? I'll give you 2 more minutes just to do this, and then we can start.
So Arzan, we can even put colors in doodles, or it can be only monochrome.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But I have something. See, normally when I do sculptures, I don't use color. The color comes out of the metal itself. Correct. Now, why I don't let people put color into the absolute first doodle is that when you put color, you're straying away from the form. First, try and get the form right. You understand? Now, if I was doing the same thing with a lot of color, then you would have to think, okay, this red, this blue, this pink, it takes away from the main form. So first, only with one colored pen, try to get your form and everything right, and then go on to the color. Definitely go on to the color. There's no hard and fast rule that you don't have to.
Okay.
So let me start. Now what we'll do is, of course, we are doing exactly the same technique of the fast scribbling. Just remember, very simply, that the head is rounded this way. So the spiral also will go this way and not this way. So you have to intelligently use the spiral to form the body of the piece that you're doing. Okay. So I'm going to start from the head up, and I'm going to go fast spiral, one piece at a time. Okay. So first, only the head. From the top, pull it down like I showed you. Pull it down. Pull it down. Pull it down. Yeah, like this. Okay, I have to tell you, when I do stuff like this, I do it in one stroke. I don't lift the pen for the complete thing. If you want to try that, we can do all of that. Right till the last one is complete, you don't lift the pen up. So when you experiment with this, after I finish, you can try and do that. Now, go on to the neck and slowly widen the same thing into the shoulder. See what I've done. So in one stroke, slowly widen into the shoulder.
So is it advisable to use micron pens for this, or you will suggest a ballpoint pen
For the fast scribbles, a ballpoint is better. I'm using a ballpoint right now. I can use a 0.5 also, but for a fast scribble, I prefer a ballpoint. Yeah.
Okay.
Just moves faster, you know. Then slowly now go. I'm going to go in the chest cavity, and what I'm going to do with the chest cavity, since it's a nice strong male figure, I'm going to go half, so that it further accentuates. Correct? You got a bifurcation in the chest, and then the full torso going down this way. See how I'm curving the spiral slowly from there up, slightly curved going down. Okay, I'm going to go ahead into the thighs. You want me to wait? Let me know, please. because I can't see what you all are doing. So I'm going slowly, but at my pace.
You carry
Good.
on.
Okay, going to the thigh. I'm going to go into the other thigh and then stop for a moment because the bottom leg is a bit tricky. I want to show you that. It's good fun. Now I'm going to go in the upper arm, piece by piece. First, only the shoulder and bicep. I'm going to end here. I've overlapped the tricep, so I'll go into the tricep. And then the forearm. If anyone has vertigo, don't try this. I'm joking. It will cure your vertigo. So, again, the other bicep. So I'm going to purposely turn this around so that my hand doesn't obstruct what I've already done. One more shoulder and bicep. One more tricep here. And the forearm. Okay. Now, take a look at the lower leg. I purposely divided it into the knee, the calf, and and the main shin bone area. So what I'll do is I'll go into the knee first. I'm going into the knee. Then I'm doing the calf, which is slightly oval always. And then I'll go into the main leg and let it overlap the calf and the knee completely. So it becomes one monogamous. See that? This way. So you can see a little bit of the calf standing out because of that. Separate kneecap, just to give it a little more body suggestion. And he looks as if he's wrapped in denim. An Egyptian mummy wrapped in denim would look like this.
Yeah.
It's looking something like that. But it's beautiful what is coming out of just spiral.
Oh yes, it's gorgeous. I mean, this is just the main body you're doing. You can do some embellishments on it to make it further alive. I like, for example, just take, if you want, you can also go into that much specification as the thumb, the palm, and the fingers, small squiggles for fingers. See that? I'll show you the hand close up. See this?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's not focusing. Yeah, there you go. See that?
The way we
Small.
use Spider-Man.
Yes, totally. And of course, it's once you get the hang of the spirals, it's very simple. Like I said, if your proportions are going out right now, don't worry about it. Proportions can just go right now. It's just get the technique right. And if you're not confident of doing figures, stick to your abstracts. It's okay. So what? Stick to the abstracts. Sorry, I'm just gathering this together. See that? This way. Now, sometimes, if you feel, look at this hand. Look at this hand. I can add more definition to it by adding one more line of spiral to it somewhere. to get a little bit of shading. You see what happened? See what happened there? It got a little light and dark.
Yeah.
So you can do that as well. Even in the chest region, if you feel that the left should be a little darker because of some shadow, because some light coming on one side, you can do that. But all this comes slowly with practice. See, I got a little more definition. See that?
Yeah. The volume has been added.
Yes, correct. Even in the thigh, I'm going to go half. I'm going to over half the thigh. I'm shading again. Similarly, in the front leg, lower leg, the shin bone area. Now you have to think of what to do, make him do. Like he's a human floating in space right now. What should he be doing? Let's say, okay, let's make him into some sort of a Maasai warrior with a spear. Okay, so then what I'll do is I'll have his hair, correct? So similarly, I'm going to take his hair a little in a wild manner, flowing. Same spirals. Don't use lines and don't mix anything with it. Only use spirals to accentuate whatever you want from him. Okay.
Wow.
You can see what I'm doing.
This is actually fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And believe me, this is one technique. I mean, I'm not showing off anything, but I can show you 100, literally 100 techniques. You know. So what I'll do is, Kanika, once I finish this session,
Yeah.
I am actually formulated, because I did one complete session with a group of 12 people. I have formulated a new program. I'll send it to you. Whoever's interested can join. I'll send it. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
On
We'll
WhatsApp.
float it
Yeah.
on that. Okay.
And then I'm going to give him a spear. But even the spear, I'm going to, see, you realize I'm not doing any outlines now? Okay, this is the spear. This is the handle of the spear that he has got. No lines. Sometimes it's very good to do things without pencils, okay? It's absolutely super fun to do stuff without pencils, because then you're more cautious about doing your lines because you know you can't erase it, correct?
Yeah.
So it's good fun. Now, since my warrior has run out of paper up here, I'm going to just slide this paper and use the paper below. I'm just going to take it on another paper just to show you. I'm taking the spear out of the paper onto the other paper now. This is the spear head. And of course, the tassels which they tie. They tie the cloth on the spear. And you can go on to give him something of a grass skirt if you want. You can keep expanding on it. Purposely, I'm keeping this light. You see that? These spirals are light because it's an embellishment on the main piece. Hence, I'm keeping it light. And like I told you, he doesn't have to be hanging in the air. He has to have some sort of, I'll get the spear back again. I'm not getting. So he has to have some sort of ground he's standing on. I'm going to take spirals, but completely haphazard. You see what I'm doing? I'm giving him a ground like this. The spirals only, but I'm completely messing them up like an open barbed wire. This is the rocky ground he's standing on. One more hour if you do of this, your hand in the night will also keep on moving this way when you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like this. See that? He's got a little base now. So there's some reference point of him standing on the ground. And you can keep on adding his jewelry. The kind of stuff they wear. I'm doing small spirals like stones or beads. I'm doing earrings. I'm doing stuff that they wear in the hand. Also on the legs. Maybe there's a rock lying here somewhere, just to give you an idea of how you can draw something which is in the foreground besides the human himself. There's a nice big rock lying here. Got an idea?
Yeah.
For the sky, you can do the lines which I showed you, but go in one stroke. Don't lift up the pen for the sky. Do this. Just this. See how beautiful it looks when it all comes together. I'm just taking lines horizontal, side to side, very light, very far apart, so that they don't mix with the main figure at all. In fact, I'm going over the main figure. You see that I'm not even lifting my pen, because our main figure is so dense that these small lines crossing it are not even going to make a difference. One stroke. One stroke. You see that? There you go. I'm going to hold it together just so you can see with the spear. You see that?
That's beautiful. Maybe
So-
all viewers can, if you would like to turn on your videos and show what you've done, Arzan can take a look. Arzan, would you be able to do that?
Sorry, I didn't understand. Sorry.
Maybe we all can show what each one has done and put it in front
Oh
of
yes, of course, definitely. Okay, so can I call out the names of the people I can see, and then you?
Yeah, sure.
Where are they gone? Oh yeah, okay, okay, fine. Let me see. So I'll start with 1 second. Let me change the camera around. Ronita Modi. Oh nice, oh very nice. Oh neat, very good. Can you get it closer? I just want to see the spirals on the human. Very neat. Okay, good. Super. Keep experimenting with it. Very nice. Then Preeti Jain. Oh, nice. Okay, so everyone's followed my drawing. Okay, but what I want you all to do is definitely, while the hand movement, everything is fresh, just do something else and send it to me. Send via Insta, send whatever. If I like it, I'll post it. Of course, I'll post it anyway, because I love any attempt that's made. Please send it to me. Archana Khaitan, can I see yours, please? Oh, very nice. Very nice. Excellent. All of you managed very well. Okay, Bhavna Gupta, can I have a look at yours? Nalini is showing me already. Nalini, very nice. Nalini, only thing is your forearm on the left has got very thick. So you have to just get the proportion. But it's okay. I told you not to bother about the proportion. So that's all right. Can I have a look at Bhavna? Bhavna Gupta? Can I see? And don't get scared to show me. I'm not very strict. It's okay. Oh, very nice. Next one. Varsha Singhania. Let me see that. I'm just going to shift so I get a little more light. Oh, very nice. Very neat. Very neat.
Beautiful.
Good. Good. Who's next? Okay, Ragini. Ragini, can I have a look at that? Oh, nice. Closer, Ragini. Closer to the camera, please. Oh, very nice. Very neat. So everyone's got an idea. Very good. Parul, can I have a look at yours? Parul Mishra. Oh, neat. Oh, you've got the background, everything. You manage. Very good. Shweta and Navya, Maheshwari, can I have a look at yours? You've done it or your mom's done it? Who's done it? You've done it. Oh, very good. Excellent. Aarti Gupta. Aarti, can I see yours? Kanika, can I see yours?
Oh, my.
Aarti. Oh, very nice. All of you got. You know what you should do? You should all put these together and photograph them together and all do a collage.
We'll do that.
Ruchi?
I'm going to call
Yeah.
it. I'm going to share the collage with you after
Do
that.
that. Do that. Ruchi, let me have a look. Nice. Ruchi, nice. Only your left hand has got very straight. It's okay. It's okay. It's just about proportion. Nice. Okay, next one. Charu Vaid. Charu Vaid, can I have a look at yours? Oh, nice. Oh, very neat. Everyone's got a good 1 minute. I lost the last one. Charu, I saw yours. Rupa, can I have a look at yours? Nice, Rupa. Only thing you have to take care of is the proportion, which is okay for today. Sonia, can I have a look at yours? Sonia Tandon. Oh, nice. Very nice. Very neat. Oh, you've got to manage a very nice
Muscular legs you've managed. Excellent. Very good. He's also so strong, he's bending his own spear. Very neat. Thank you. Preeti, let me have a look. Preeti Bhatia, let me have a look. Oh, very nice. Okay, fine, super. Vasundhara, I'm seeing yours. Very nice. Vasundhara, very nice, very neat. Do a little more of the background on the floor, the ground, okay, so that he stands out a little more. Excellent. Vidhi, can I have a look at yours? Vidhi has done a different pose. Oh, congratulations. Thank God. Someone's done a different pose. So he jumped so much, he got tired. So now he's sitting. Is he looking or saluting? He's looking up in the air. Okay, he's saluting. How nice. Get it closer, please. Vidhi, get it closer. Very neat. Very neat. Nice work, Vidhi. Very good. Shikhav, can I have a look at that? Shikhav's video is frozen. Shruti, can I have a look at yours? Janjunwala? Nice, Shruti. Very nice. Fine. Oh yeah, now I'm seeing Shikhav's. Shikhav's very nice. I like the way you've gone over and over again with the spiral. Good stuff. Mirganki, right? Mirganki. How did the page skip? 1 second. Huh? Yeah, very nice, Mirganki. Good. Neha. Okay, sorry, the pages are skipping as I'm moving. 1 minute. Okay, Neha, neat stuff. Neha, very nice. I like the musculature. Very nice. Neha, I've seen now. Komal Batra. Okay, very good. Komal, only what you have to do is, he looks as if he's flat on the ground. So you need to define the ground and the sky a little more because he looks as if he's flat. Okay. And right now the rocks are looking very cute because they're looking like small turtles walking towards him. But it's okay. I like it anyway. So Vidushi's left a painting and gone, or is she holding the camera? Vidushi, nice. Okay, Anita, can I have a look at yours? Ananta Swarup. Neat one. Very nice, Ananta. I like the way you've got your figure. Very, very good motion in the figure. Shalini, nice work. Shalini, good. Anita, I'm seeing. Anita Agarwal, I'm seeing. Very nice. Mili Sikka, very good work. I like the motion again, the way he's moving. Juhi, very neat. Very nice one. Hema, can you get it closer? Can't see. Oh, very nice. Hema, right now from far, yours, it looks like someone who's holding a mic and singing his heart off. But it's very neat. It's very good. Okay, who's left? Ritu Sibal, I'm seeing yours. Ritu, very nice. I like it. Only the hand has gone a little off, but it's okay. It's perfectly all right. Now the figures are jumping for some reason. I'm not able to see. Ritu, I saw yours, right? Ritu Sibal, I saw. Devika Gupta. Okay, nice. Nice, Devika. Very nice. Manya, neat one. Very neat, Manya. I like what you've done in the background. Devika, very nice. Devika, the spirals which you've done in the background need to overlap a little because right now it looks separate. Okay. They need to overlap a little. Just remember that. Sandhya Agarwal, can I have a look at that? Closer, please. Don't get scared. Okay, neat. You need to do a background a little. Fine. Super. Neha, can I have a look at yours? Neha, very neat. Neha, the proportion has gone off. It's okay. Next time, do the torso much smaller. Okay? The torso has to be much smaller. Priyanki, let me have a look at that. Okay, nice, Priyanki. Oh, you managed to get a double shading also on it. Very neat. Very neat. Manit Segal, you've got a good background and everything going. Only thing is your floor needs to overlap a little because it looks very regular. It looks like a tile floor right now, but it has to be a little rougher. Huh? Who else is left? Sunita and Shalini. Have I completed everyone? Because all the other videos are closed. Is that okay?
Yeah, I think you've completed everyone.
Okay,
Thank you so much. That was so sweet of you to actually make an effort.
Oh, no problem. Absolutely okay. So, the only last thing I want to show you is, before you all go, when you do it next time, do a small figure, but try doing it in one stroke. I'll just show you how it looks. It's good fun when you do it in one stroke. I'm just going to end with this, okay? So you get a head, you get the head, you go into the neck, torso, you come up into the chest area. Same figure I'm trying to do. You go into the hands, you go into the fingers. Don't lift up. Again, go into this.
this. I'm speeding it up a little, so my proportion has gone a little off, but it's okay. Just to give you an idea. Going to the thigh, knee, calf, and then go up again into the other one, knee, calf. Try this, it's good fun. That's it. So, one sec, I'll take the camera around. So, satisfied everyone? Everyone had a fill?
Truly, truly.
Beautiful.
Good, super. So,
Sculpture is yours at the behind.
sorry, the sculpture behind is not mine. As a rule, I don't keep my own work at home because I see enough of it in the studio. So when I come home, I just want to be away from my work, so I don't keep my sculptures here at all. But actually, we can once in the future we can do a session which is at the studio, so I can show you all the images and everything that I have around there.
Yeah.
So keep practicing. Try coming up with your own techniques. Okay, seriously, try coming up with techniques that you devise, and you'll be amazed. You may sit down with a blank mind when you sit with the paper, but the moment you start moving the pen, you'll be surprised what comes out of it. You know, it's wonderful. You just try it out. Just take and keep a small sketchbook with you. Literally a small sketchbook, literally 4 inches. You get very small sketchbooks now with a couple of pens. Yeah, and instead of just sort of opening your phone and checking for WhatsApp messages, you can probably just take out a little pen wherever you are sitting and do a little doodle. So it literally, for example, this sketchbook, the one which I showed you, this I always used to carry it with me, and these are all done in different locations all around Bombay, everywhere, wherever I travel.
Yeah.
So it's good fun. Just keep on trying it, and the more you do it, like any subject, the more you'll get engrossed, the more you'll enjoy it further.
Arzan,
So that's it for me. Thank you.
Arzan, we would not want you to stop, because we don't know how. We had a wonderful session.
Thank you. I am known to talk a lot. I had a lecture day before yesterday, which was scheduled for an hour. I went on to an hour and a half, and someone sent me a message, you better end soon. So I get involved, and if the interest is reciprocated from the other side, then of course it gets more interesting from me, So that's how it works.
But that is what your simplicity is,
Thank you.
No, but
Thank you.
It was a treat to watch you doodle.
Thank you.
Really simple and enjoyable.
Thank you.
Actually describe the techniques very simply. We all really appreciate your positive energy.
Thank you.
In tough times.
Thank you.
Request Dr.
Yeah.
Archana, our chairperson,
Yes.
and Archana Khaitan, our past chairperson, to please give you the green certificate.
Sorry, give you the?
Green certificate.
Okay, thank you.
Arzan, basically, in at Picky Flow, we believe in presenting our guests by planting and honoring them by planting a tree in their
Oh, how
name
nice.
in
Okay.
the urban forest. So we planted a tree in your name, and you can track the tree. There's a small number down here. I will give the actual certificate to you, and you can track this tree and see it grow. And thank you so much. This has been such a wonderful
Thank you.
experience, and would request our past chair, Mrs. Khaitan, to also say a few words.
Sure.
I'm mute, yeah. Thank you so much. I've never done such unplanned, I'm an artist, but I've never done such unplanned doodling.
Good. I'm glad.
I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
Thank you very much. I thoroughly enjoyed too.
Online classes, I really thoroughly enjoyed. I'd love to do your online classes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to even ask Kanika, who's been in constant touch with you.
Okay.
Vote of thanks to you.
Okay. Sure.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, Arzan would relate this workshop to saying pen is mightier than sword, and would like to express my gratitude to you, Mr. Arzan Khambata, for this lovely workshop. Thank you for
so
sharing
much.
your work with us with such an open heart. Everything was fitting into the jigsaw so well. Totally learned, how to unlock our thoughts and think differently, to reconnect our thoughts and enjoy the present. So this is what I made for you just now, Arzan.
Oh, thank you. It's wonderful. Thank
I would
you.
like to definitely see your sculptures once the lockdown is over and we can travel India.
Sure.
Thank you for making us revisit those lovely times in school.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I would like to thank our chapter chair, Dr. Aarti Gupta, for organizing this workshop for us during these special times, which when it's much needed. Heartfelt thanks to Preeti Jain, our event chair for the day, for conducting it so beautifully. Thank you, Preeti. I would also like to thank my chapter chairs, GB members, and all the fellow flow members for joining us today. Arzan, thanks a ton for your daughter joining us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to have her with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sponsors, Valencia Socks, Loya Corp, and Art Denox. Thank you, everyone, and stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Our way now.
See you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. This was such a delightful session. I would request everyone to kind of send their pictures. These, let's call them Flow Kanpur Corona Warriors.
Absolutely.
We can take a screenshot also.
Yeah, maybe we can make it all a collage to this. And thank you everyone from all other chapters to join us. I could see a lot of members from Bangalore here and some members from Kolkata and everything. So please, lovely. Let us send these pictures. We'll make a really nice collage out of this. Yeah, I think that would be much nicer than the screenshot. Take a couple of pictures of the screenshot also if you want. Beautiful. I hope everyone enjoyed. I'm going to unmute everyone. So in case anybody would like to say something.
Loved it, Aarti. Enjoyed it thoroughly.
Really
Loved it.
I'm not an artist, but I loved it and I didn't realize that
He
also loved it, Arvind. Good way of unwinding.
Fabulous. It was very good.
It was very nice.
And he was so easy and effervescent. And it was really good. Very good. Loved it. Thanks.
Really good. I enjoyed the art also. Thank you so much.
So sweet.
we loved your
Bye.
So nice.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
And next episode is 3rd July. Looking forward to seeing you all then.
Hope you all enjoyed.
Bye, Aarti. Great one.
Bye.
Connected us to singer here.
The evening Raga playing.
How would you define such a person? What is this person like? How does this enlightened being walk and talk and interact with others? How does he actually meditate? How does he actually interact with the world? So this question is asked. And what is the practical